Hi everyone, and welcome to the Miss America organization's Miss America How To. I am Alyssa Bohm, Miss Wisconsin 2019, and I have been a part of the Miss America organization for 6 years, and I have gained over $25,000 in scholarships. I'm bringing a lesson to you guys on Algebra 1, combining like terms. Before I won Miss Wisconsin, I was a high school special education teacher teaching math classes. So I'm bringing you guys into my classroom to see what type of lessons I was teaching and to keep you guys up on your skills and getting ready back to go to school. Here I have my lessons and my materials. You will need a colorful sheet of paper, a marker, paper towel, dice, a white sheet of paper, and then as a bonus, you can put your white sheet of paper into a clear plastic cover and use it as a dry erase board. That's what I'm going to do today. So let's get started. I have our equation here. Now, the equation has some boxes, but I think it's missing something. It's missing the numbers. So what we are going to do is we're going to roll the dice and then put those numbers into the boxes. So I'm going to start here, and I'm going to roll, and I have a 2. So I'm going to put the 2 in the first box, just like this. And then I'm going to do the same thing for the other 2 numbers. 3. And shake it good. And another 3. All right, so we have our equation. Just like this. So now I'm going to take that equation, I'm going to write it on my white sheet of paper. So I have 2 parentheses 3x minus 3. Perfect. Just like that. So now we need to solve. And what we're going to do is we are going to create rainbows. This is what I like to teach my students on how to figure out where to start. So I'm going to create a rainbow that goes from the 2 to the 3x. And then I'm also going to create another rainbow that goes to the 2 to the negative 3. So just like this. And what this tells me is that the 2 is going to be multiplying to both inside numbers. So let's first do the first problem. We have 2 times 3x. Now I know you heard an x and you're like, whoa, that's a lot. I don't even know where to start. Well, first start with multiplying. First we're going to multiply 2 times 3. And 2 times 3 is 6. So I'm going to put the 6 right underneath the 3, just like this. And then now I have to figure out what I'm going to do with that x. Well, the thing is that the x is only with the 3. The 2 doesn't have an x, neither does the other 3. So what that means is we are just going to bring the x down. So I'm going to draw a tiny little arrow to show that I'm bringing the x down. So now it is 6x, just like that. And I'm done with that first number. So I'm going to cross out the 3x to show that I am done with it. Now we're going to move on to doing 2 times negative 3. So don't worry about the negative, just multiply like we did before. So 2 times 3 is 6. So I'm going to put the 6 right down here. And now all I have to do is I just have to add my sign. So just like I did with the x, I'm going to draw an arrow and I'm going to move that negative sign right down to the equation. And our last question is going to be, like I always ask my students, is there anything else we can combine here? Can we combine the 6x and the negative 6? Can we combine anything else? Well, and the answer is no, we can't combine anything. 6x and negative 6 are 2 different terms. They are not the same at all. So we can't combine them. So we have to leave them the same way that they are. So the way that I like to represent that we're done is putting a box around the equation. That shows me that it's complete. Just like this. And that's our ending product. That is the numbers that we want, and that's the equation that we get. Now let's move on to one that's a little bit harder. So I have a pink sheet here, and this is our new equation. It looks kind of the same as the green one, but it has 2 x's in here. Whoa. Don't worry, it'll be the exact same way we did it before. So like we did before, we need to shake up our dice. And I got a 3 for the first number, and I'm going to put that in the first box. And then I'm going to do the same thing for the other 2. I have a 4. And then last one. I have another 4. Perfect. So here is our equation. Now I'm going to write that on my white sheet like I did before. So we have 3x parentheses 4x plus 4. Perfect. Just like this. So like we did before, we need to have the outside number show what they're going to do to the inside number. We're going to create those rainbows. So the 3x is going to rainbow into the 4x, and then it's also going to rainbow into the plus 4. Just like this. So same thing we did before, we're going to first work on the first number. So that is 3x times 4x. Now there's 2 x's. I know, I understand, that's a lot more complex than it was before, but we're first just going to multiply. So 4 times 3 is 12. So I'm going to write my 12 just like this. So now we have to figure out what we're going to do with the 2 x's. Now a lot of times people want to put 2x. They're like, oh perfect, there's 2 x's, I'm going to put 2x. Well, unfortunately we can't do that. What we need to do is we need to double the x's since there are 2 x's. So we're going to first bring down 1x. We know we're going to have 1x with that 12. So I'm going to put an x next to it. And now what we're going to do is we are going to put a exponent number in the right-hand corner of the x. Since there is 2 x's, I'm going to put a 2 in that right-hand corner. That makes it x squared. It also represents the 2 x's. And that's it. That's all we do for that first one. So we multiplied and then we combined our 2 x's to make them x squared. So I'm going to cross out the 4x and move on to the positive 4. So now we have 3x times positive 4. Like we did before, we need to multiply and then figure out the x's. So 4 times 3 is 12, just like before. So I write that down. And then now, a little secret. This outside number, if it has an x, that means that both of the inside numbers are going to get an x. They're both going to get it. So that means that when we multiplied this 4, it's also going to get an x here. This outside number controls a lot on the inside. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to add 1x to the 12. And then all I have to do is, like I did before, at the top one, I'm going to bring down my sign. So I'm going to bring down the positive sign. Draw my arrow and bring the positive sign down. Just like this. So now we have to look at it and see, well, is there anything that I can combine here? Well, we have 12x squared plus 12x. Well, they both have x's. Maybe I can combine them. Well, unfortunately, we can't combine them because 12x squared is different than 12x. 12x squared has 2 x's and 12x has 1x. They had to be exactly the same for them to be able to be combined. So that's all we can do. This is as far as we can go. So that means we're going to put a box around it and say it's complete. So I'm going to draw my box around my equation and say that is complete. Just like that. So we are all done with that one. And we're actually all done with the activity. I hope you guys enjoyed this and watching our Miss America organization how-to video for Algebra 1 combining like terms. If you guys do this activity and want to post a photo, make sure you guys use the hashtag Miss America How-To. You can follow me on Instagram at Miss America WI and Facebook at Miss Wisconsin. And make sure you're also following the social media handles at Miss America and our YouTube channel where you can find more lessons from the class of 2020 and the Miss America organization. See you later.